Welcome back to the Ladies Who Leveled Up podcast. We're going to get into episode 5. If you've been following this series in order and completing each sheet before moving to the next, I want to take a second and just acknowledge what you've done. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You've defined your business, you've written your vision, you've named your pillars and mapped out your monetization. Okay, big one. You've audited your brand honestly, and now, honey, everything is coming together. Everything you've built in those 4 sheets is about to come together right here. This is my favorite sheet. This is the episode that makes everything click. We're on sheet 5 and it's the strategy flow chart. And when you're done with this sheet, you will have a 12-month strategic roadmap on a single page. This is what's hanging up in my bathroom, okay? This is what's doing it. Before I walk you through this sheet, I want to talk about why this sheet actually exists, because it was born out of a specific problem I keep seeing, over and over and over. Most women in business operate quarterly at best. They think about what they want to do this month, maybe next month, and then they figure it out as they go, and they feel like a hamster on a road wheel. And I understand why. The pace of business, especially when you're a one-person or a small team operation, can make long-range planning feel like a luxury. You don't have the time. But here's the cost of that approach. You spend the whole year reacting. You're always in response mode to what's trending, to what's going on, to what your competitors are doing, what your audience seems to want this week or next week, and you never get ahead. You just never get ahead. I just hated that feeling. You're never building towards something. You're just staying afloat. So the 2026 strategy flowchart solves that. It gives you the full picture, all 4 quarters, all 12 months, all 3 pillars in one page. So instead of figuring out each month as it arrives, you've built a roadmap in advance, and then you can execute with confidence. This is what I mean when I say stop winging it and start winning. Now let's get into how the flowchart actually works. Let me walk you through the structure of the chart. Because it's laid out in a specific way, I want you to understand why before you start filling it in. At the top of the chart, you have 3 boxes: pillar 1, pillar 2, and pillar 3. Take the 3 pillars that you defined on sheet 3 and plug them in here. Very important. These are your 3 revenue lanes for your entire year. Below the pillars you have for boxes Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. Each quarter gets a primary focus, okay? This doesn't mean you abandon the other 2 pillars. It means one pillar gets the majority of your energy, your launch activity, your content focus in that certain quarter. This just takes the load off. This is how you build depth in each pillar. Instead of spreading yourself thin across all 3 at a time, the below quarters have a monthly breakdown. All 12 months, January through December. For each month, you're going to note 3 things. Listen up. The primary goal, the primary offer, and the primary content. Focus. That is it. 3 pillars, 4 quarters, 12 months, 1 page. But the clarity you get from this single page is the difference between a brand that grows with intention and a brand that grows by accident, or a brand that doesn't even grow at all. Now, here's how to assign the pillars to the quarters. Here's the question I get asked most about on this chart. How do I decide which pillar goes in which quarter? And there's really no universal answer for this. It just depends on your business model, your revenue patterns, and it depends on your immediate needs and wants to tackle at the time. But here are the frameworks that I use. Framework 1, seasonality. Does your business have natural peaks and valleys? If you sell physical products, that's a good question. So if you sell physical products, Q4 is almost certainly your biggest revenue period. So your most product-focused pillar should probably have its deepest push in Q4. If you serve corporate market, Q1 is often when the budget's reset and the decisions get made for the year because they have their strategy in place. So your services pillar should be front and center then. Framework 2. Do you have a launch planned? This matters too. Does one offer naturally lead into another? Map your launch calendar and then assign the pillars to the quarters where each offer lives. Your content, your partnership, your visibility pushes, all of it aligns to support the launch in that pillar's quarter. Framework 3. Are there quarters where you'll know that you'll be at a lower capacity, whether you'll be traveling more, personal commitments, team bandwidth. In those quarters, assign a pillar that has more passive income potential and less demand on your active time. Save your highest touch pillar for the quarter where you have the most capacity to deliver. It's really plain and simple. You don't have to use all three frameworks. Just use the one that resonates with your business and your business model the most and your life. Filling in the monthly breakdown, my favorite part. This gets tricky. Now let's talk about the monthly boxes, because this is where the strategy gets tactical. For each month, you're filling in three things: goal, offer, content, focus. The goal is the one thing you're working towards in that month, not 5 things. 1. What is the primary KPI that would tell you this month was a success? Leads generated, revenue from a specific offer, follower growth towards the benchmark, email list size. Pick one and make it measurable. The offer is what you are actively selling or promoting that month. It connects directly to the pillar assigned to that quarter and feeds the goal you just wrote. If your goal is 20 new coaching clients, your offer is the coaching program. If your goal is to do 30,000 in product revenue, your offer is the product or the product bundle. Content focus is the theme or the angle that drives your content for that month, not specific posts, the overarching message that your content is communicating. Authority content, positioning me as the expert in X. Community building content that invites your audience to participation. Sales content that drives conversions for my offer. Every post that month should connect back to the one content direction. When you fill in all 12 months, you should really be able to look at the chart and see a coherent narrative. A brand that is building towards something that is consistent in its pillars and that has a clear offer in market at any given time. Now, how to actually use this chart. Now, I want to talk to you about the most important thing, okay? How to use this chart once you've built it. Don't just let it sit and collect dust, because a strategy document that lives in a drawer is not a strategy. It's a wish. Step 1, put it somewhere where you can see it. Not in a folder, not in a drawer, not on your desk, on your wall. Make it a part of your workspace. Mine is in my bathroom. It's the first thing I see when I wake up. Step 2, review it at the beginning of every quarter. Before Q2, start to look at what you plan for Q2. Does it still make sense? Has anything changed? Because you are allowed to adjust the strategy, but you need to do it intentionally, not reactively. Step 3, use it as your weekly filter. Every time you're making a decision about content, partnerships, about where to spend your time, look at the chart. What quarter are we? What pillar is this quarter's focus? This is what's going to keep you on track. Get what I say by roadmap. Does this decision support the direction? If yes, proceed. If no, pause, okay? This chart is not a cage. It's just a compass. Use it like one. There's always time to pivot. So that is the sheet 5, the strategy flow chart. And I genuinely hope that filling this out gave you clarity. It just gave you the push that you need. That feeling, seeing your entire year laid out with intention, that's what strategy feels like, okay? Now, episode 6 is the last one in this series, the weekly content planner. That's where your strategy becomes your schedule. That's where the big annual roadmap you just built gets broken down into what you're doing this week. Don't miss it. The strategy sheets, all 6 of them, including this flow chart we just discussed, are available right now in the show notes. If you're using a random piece of paper, honey, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. You're missing the structure that makes this framework seamless for you. And that format matters. Grab the sheets, okay? Complete your flow chart, and I'll see you in the final episode. I'm Anthony Allen, and this is Ladies Who Level Up. See you soon.